Today I'm going to show you how to perform a linear regression using the Ti-Nspire graphing calculator. To begin, we're going to start from the home screen, which you can find by clicking on the House or On button at the top of the calculator. From there, we're going to open a new document, and we're going to begin by adding a list or a spreadsheet. From here, at the very top of your list, in column A, we're going to define our first variable, which will be x. At the top of column B, we'll define our second variable, which will be y. From here, you can enter any data that you have with x and y coordinates. I'm going to enter some data that my class used last week, where we were analyzing the charging time on an Apple iPhone. Okay, I've entered 4 sets of ordered pairs. These correspond with the minutes that the phone was charging and the percent of charge gained on the battery life for this particular data set. The next thing we're going to do is click Control-I to insert a new graph. After clicking on Add Data in Statistics, you'll have a scatter plot. On the left-hand side, you can click to add a variable, and we're going to define this as the y-axis. All of our data will travel to its location on the y-axis, and we'll do the same along the bottom. If you click x for the x-axis, the data will travel to its x-coordinate along the x-axis. Now it sort of resembles a scatter plot. But we do want to put in our line of best fit. To add a line of best fit, if you click on Menu, Analyze, Regression, Show Linear mx plus b, it will show the line of best fit or the linear regression for this set of data. The equation is shown with the y-intercept and the slope going through the ordered pairs. But suppose you want to know all of the specific statistics regarding this linear regression. Once again, we'll use Control-I to insert an additional page. This time, we're going to add a calculator, option number 1. Now that we have a calculator, we're going to go to Menu again. This time, click on Statistics, Stat Calculations, Linear Regression, mx plus b. From here, we're going to define our x and our y variables given the menu. For the x list, we're just going to put an x because that's how we defined column A. We're going to put a y because that's how we defined column B. And then at the bottom, click OK. From here, you'll receive all of the specifics regarding the linear regression. For example, the slope, m, is 1 17/100ths. The y-intercept, b, is 4 88/100ths, and our correlation coefficient, which shows a very strong linear correlation of 0.99. From here, it may be useful to add some additional data points or see how the linear regression changes if you add additional data to the set. We'll go back to page 1, which is where we had our original data. Suppose we returned back to the iPhone after 33 minutes of charging and found that it had reached 45% battery charge. We've added a 5th ordered pair to our data set. If we return to page 2, that ordered pair shows up, and we'll notice that our linear regression has changed. Now, the y-intercept is no longer 4 88/100ths, it's 4 58/100ths, and our slope has changed slightly. Similarly, if we go to page 3, we can see what has happened to our correlation coefficient if we do a new calculation. To perform a new calculation, go to Menu, Statistics, Stat Calculations, Linear Regression, mx plus b. Once again, we'll have to define which lists we want the calculator to use. For list A, or column A, we had our x variable. For column B, our y variable. Click OK again, and we'll be able to see our new linear regression, adding that 5th data point. The slope has changed slightly, as has the y-intercept, but the correlation coefficient has remained mostly the same. I hope that you found this video helpful.